The clip I'm about to show is from a debate between Alan Dershowitz and Alan Keyes about religion and its role in ethics and whatnot in the 21st century. And Alan Keyes was asked this question: when was the most recent instance, in your opinion, that organized religion did provide an answer in American society? And the answer, I think, is really interesting, especially considering 12 years later we know so much more about what he's talking about. And to me, this is an example of why we shouldn't rely on religion to give us answers to questions. Because all it is people interpreting religion and interpreting what they think God wants. And they become such unmitigated disasters. So here's the clip from that debate and the question that he's asked and his response.
Thank you. I have a question for Mr. Keyes. When was the most recent instance, in your opinion, in which organized religion did provide an answer to a problem in American society?
I think that we're seeing a response from a lot of folks of faith. And by the way, you notice that I never use this phrase organized religion, because I'm not entirely sure what you mean, what you're talking about. Religion as an institution is one thing, but institutions in the end have to do with the faith and the ethics and the belief that they embody. And I am talking about the organic whole of that faith and belief as it translates into action. And I think the most recent example of a good effect has been the abstinence movement, in which after years of nonsense and lies from all these sex educationists teaching our children to do what we really didn't want them to do, we actually had folks stand up once again and say that in order to keep folks from having sex at an age they shouldn't, you need to fill their lives with a positive understanding of their responsibilities to parenthood and to family and to God. And I think that those movements which have had folks coming forward, taking the pledge when they're 14, gathering in great numbers in order to reinforce a sense that it is in fact cool to remain outside of sexual activity, and to do that in the light of prayer and God as part of a community of faith, I think it has had an enormous positive impact on oncoming generations, and we have yet to see the end of it, thank God, because it is still growing.
So you heard it there. He's talking about abstinence, and how it's been a success in that, we will still have yet to see the great, wonderful impact it's going to have on generations in the future. Well, 12 years later, we now know the impact that wonderful impact it's had. And of course, I'm referring to abstinence only, but I assume that's generally what he's talking about. He's the kind of person that says, well, concerning the rest of the debate, I'm pretty sure he's for abstinence only. And we all know it's been an unmitigated disaster of horrible proportions. The states that have abstinence-only education have the highest rates of teen pregnancy, STIs, abortions, and other such things. Because they don't get the education. They're not taught what to do if abstinence fails. They're only taught to do abstinence. They're put in front of these groups where they're forced to give these pledges. And if they fail those pledges, they keep going up. And it doesn't work. It has failed horribly. And more kids are getting pregnant, dying from diseases and whatnot. This is why you don't get your morality from someone interpreting the Bible or interpreting God. I only think you should get morality from the Bible. But the Bible does not really apply to modern day things because it doesn't give the nuances and explain situations. Back then, there was no condoms. There was very little STIs and whatnot. You didn't have to deal with a lot of the situations they do nowadays. And that is the big issue here. We're supposed to, just assume that somebody's getting it right. That even if God exists, the message is getting clear to him that he's not screwing up that message, or that God, really cares about these little things. For all we know, in modern day society, God doesn't think that abstinence is the best situation. Maybe he would have a more educated sexual approach. But that's not what we have. We have people claiming to be speaking for God and the disasters they provide to society. And this is just one example. I think I might do a new series on this. Give examples of why we shouldn't be doing this. We have to think for ourselves. We have to, the idea that using human morality and ethics is scary for people because there is no objective 100% morality. And that's scary. But it's the nuances. It's always little situations that objective morality cannot handle. Sex is always wrong, so we can't even discuss what to do if you have sex because that's wrong. There is no room for learning and discovery and basing things on situations or new knowledge, and that's the problem. Comment below if you agree or disagree. Let me know your thoughts, or let me know if you like the new format or not.